Welcome to the February 1st edition of Survivor's Circle. We got just a few minutes, a couple of minutes late today. We struggling a bit. Today's our topic is just going to be current events, and we're just going to kick back and take it easy. It's been a rough week for me. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I had the unfortunate pleasure, no, quote unquote pleasure, of contacting I'm assuming the new variant of COVID. Fortunately for me, I was made it through just fine, but my recovery has been much slower than I expected. So we'll bring Maria in. Hello, dear. Glad to see you made
How
it.
are you?
I am telling you, I have been struggling here. I'm going to have to do this a few more times before I get the hang of it. It's just, oh God,
Just one of
it's
those
terrible.
things.
It's terrible. I keep thinking, no, it's me. It's the brain fog. I'm losing my grip. And I think, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It happens. It happens.
Okay, where's the buttons? Where happened to all the buttons? I can't find the buttons.
Yeah,
Terrible.
this is true. I can't get situated today. So
It looks like you need your bouncy chair.
there we go.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
Really do.
I'm telling you. Oh. So
It's been a mess.
I
had to move my
originally
chair.
came up. I wanted to talk about current events, and there really were two that I had thought about talking about. And one, I don't know. The first one I guess would be the kerfuffle they're having in Canada with the truck drivers.
That's something else.
I don't
think I've totally wrapped my head around that yet.
I haven't either. And I get so many different ways of looking at it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, look. It's according to officialdom from officials of trucking companies and truck unions and the whole kind of thing. 9 out of 10 are already vaccinated. So it's not a problem. For 9 out of 10, it's no problem whatsoever, Okay. And they've been crossing back and forth for the past year, 18 months, okay? And now suddenly it's, oh my God, and now suddenly it's a big deal. I don't really understand that. I really don't. I don't understand why now it's something that's, creating such a movement. And then there's the question of what movement is there, okay? At first they said, oh man, it's 50,000 trucks going across Canada. Who's paying the fuel for 50,000 18-wheelers? If you sat on an overpass over an expressway and 50,000 semis were driving by you at 60 miles an hour, okay? It would take 10 hours for them to pass by.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's six. I figured it out. At 70 feet for a rig, that's 650 miles of trucks. That's from here to, oh my goodness, that's a bit further from my house to your house.
This is true.
That's bumper to bumper, no clearance. Okay. I thought, oh, I got to see these pictures. You got to have pictures from freaking from commercial aircraft of a line of trucks stretching for 600, from horizon to horizon. Okay.
Right.
I couldn't find any.
I
And
don't, there may be a lot, but it's not 50,000. I mean, nobody has sat and counted
no,
all that.
well,
Can't be.
there may be. I've heard everything from 50,000 to 200. Okay, 200's a doable thing, and they did seem to have a pretty good crowd in front of the Capitol in Ottawa. So they may have had a couple of thousand people. So, but still, and suddenly that's the entirety of it's just it seems like it's making a big. It's why I keep saying why at this point, it's I'm not seeing the an immediate cause for the. I mean, okay, people finally get pissed off and the straw breaks the camel's back or something like that. But I can't. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't understand. And I've tried and just haven't been able to figure it out exactly. So that's why I think I don't know whether it's true or not. And that, I guess that's where it all really boils down to is it.
I think I just lost Charles. Well, isn't that fun? Okay. So this is different, and I know Charles was going on with the Canadian part of this. We don't know exactly what's happened. We don't know everything. I know there's been some false
I'm
stories
glad you took
put
over
out.
for me. I dropped out there for a second.
Yeah, it's okay. And I'm going to have to drop off for just a second because I'm having an animal emergency. Imagine that. I can hear it in the background. So I will be right back.
We must take care of those. Okay, I'll see if there's anything else I can talk about for no reason. The other thing was the big, I guess. There's so many things going on, but almost nothing significant in the news, except for the release of the information that there were presidential plans by President 45, who okay, all good. Who there were plans that were set up to use the Army and the Department of Homeland Security to confiscate voting machines and votes in the rundown after the January 6th thing. So it's really, it's really going to be interesting. I don't know. It seems that that whole January 6th investigation is coming to a point. It's to where things are going to start happening, I think. I just want it all to be over, completely over, so we can get everything back to some kind of I want that to be over. I want COVID to be over. I want the crisis. I'm tired of the crises. We just
the January 6th thing should have been over last year.
A year ago. Yes.
I mean, really? How many investigations are we going to go into over?
How many times are they? Well, supposedly the guys from Arizona, the cyber ninjas, they're withholding all their information because they've got a special announcement that they want to make. Dudes, you've had millions of dollars. You've had over a year, and if you have something significant, roll it out. The people are ready to hear. So
Yeah, I mean it's.
Ron,
We're
all tired of the mask too.
Let's yeah, because they really work. Don't get me started, Charles.
Don't get you started. Okay,
don't get me started.
I won't get. Well, it didn't. Well, all I can say, it didn't work for me.
It doesn't work for anybody, but they have to tell you something because, and they only did that to make people feel secure, which it didn't.
No, I don't know that. Okay, perhaps in this case or for a long-term case, it doesn't work. Or I don't know absolutely whether it works or not. But
for any long-term exposure, I will say it's not going to work.
Over the past 2 years, the incidence of actual flu, the ordinary old-fashioned kind of flu, has been way down.
Gee, wonder why.
Probably because people have been staying home and not congregating as much.
Well, and I'll tell you this too.
This stuff apparently is it. We know it's airborne, and it appears that it's more contagious than an ordinary flu.
And then I think isn't this strand's more contagious than the Delta because they kept screaming about the Delta.
Yes. So
this stuff
I think so. Well,
this stuff is more contagious.
I'm pretty sure I got it either primarily or secondarily when I went to a wedding. And I was fully masked and the whole thing. And it got me, But that's the way it goes. I knew that was a risk. And the point is, it was almost 2 weeks before I showed any symptoms whatsoever. And
see, that's not how it was supposed to work. It's supposed to be like 3 days?
Yeah. But I may have caught it. I may not have caught it at the wedding. I may have caught it from my brother-in-law.
Well, that's true.
He was there too. Okay. And his symptoms showed up a couple of days before mine did. So.
All right. No, I just know it's been pretty.
I just want to be done with it.
It's annoying.
I want to get back to normal.
Annoying. And maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows?
Oh, I think we will. I think we just need to insist on it.
Yeah.
Because really, it's like so many things. We are the control. We have, as much as it does, as much as they keep telling us we don't have any control, we have control of our own perception of reality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm my resolution. Part of my resolution for this year was I'm done with that stuff. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this coming year, this new year. I'm going to be more active. I'm no more putting off. No more putting off. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to manage somehow to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that determination was somewhat tempered by getting knocked on my ass. But other than that, we're working on bouncing back because we're going to do this thing. We're going to, I'm not going to be cowed by a fucking virus.
Mhm.
Especially at this point when I'm going to say, I think no big secret, I have a disability, a breathing disability, that made me say I've got to get this vaccine as soon as possible, because I can't afford to lose any more of those little alveoli.
Right.
I need those. I need those very much. So I said, okay. And when it finally sneaked in and caught me, I had a very mild case. I mean, I wouldn't, if in an ordinary year, I wouldn't have paid any attention to it at all. It was just a couple of days of not feeling quite up to par. I had a little scratchiness in the back of the throat, and the sinuses were blocked. And okay, that's normal. That's pretty much normal for winter.
Oh yeah.
And that was, and I'm done. And I'm done with it. I'm okay. So I'm safe now. Now I can forget about that. Not that was my biggest concern with it was I didn't want to spread it around and give it to somebody else.
Right. And nobody
I didn't
wants
want
to do that.
I didn't want that responsibility. I didn't want to take that chance. It didn't feel like it was worth it to me. My my friends and the people I associate with are more precious to me than that. Than a few days of my time.
Well, I know that a good friend of mine, he's had every strand of this COVID. He's had the first one, he's had the Delta, and he's had this one. And it's amazing to me is because he does have lung issues.
Oh my.
And but he's been fine, and he's not been vaccinated because he got it the first time before the vaccines ever came out. And then that's, they pretty much had said then, you're a good 6 months for not getting it again, not getting it because you've already got the antibodies. So, of course, Delta come out more than 6 months after that. And but anyways, he's fine. He just every time he's just felt kind of bad and crappy and sleepy. So
well, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
And he's in his 40s, his late 40s.
My like I said, I don't know if I said this on the air, but or before. I get disappointed in myself. I think thinking you should just shake this off and walk right on by. And it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to be 68 soon.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work like that. It takes time, and I need to be more patient with myself to get back to a full 100% recovery. But I'm not. I get impatient. I want to be back to normal right away. It's okay. So I'll give myself another couple of weeks before I, it's just, I don't know.
Well, I think that's the reason too. People are going to get the infusion, even though they're kind of healed from it. They're past it. But if you go and get that infusion, I think it tends to, you get over it way
boosts, quicker. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
But I just I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of interesting who gets it, who doesn't get it, how it affects everybody. It affects everybody differently.
Well, so many things do. But I mean, look, in spite of the alarmist, I guess, really reaction to the most part, most people, 90%, 80%, 75%, most people, okay, come through this with no problem.
Right.
Okay. There are some that fall into a situation with it's almost an autoimmune reaction with what they're calling it long COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people who get really, really sick, which is the smallest portion, you know, say 10%, 5%, it's not everybody. It's not almost everybody, but it would be a lot of people,
Right.
And
well, maybe we'll all get it and get over it and be done with it and then just keep going and we'll just get a cold.
It would be good to at least be all reunited and all together in the fact that one way or another we got through this thing.
Right.
That's
Here you go.
That's what I want for 22.
Here's some humor.
Uh-oh.
It's all about Omicron and Boris Johnson and his parties in UK. It's gone from Delta to Omicron. That's a few Greek letters missed out there. It's Omicron because the Chinese couldn't translate.
They need Omega. The Omega Man.
Yes.
With the zombies
that's
and
pretty good.
Shit. Oh, absolutely. Boris Johnson, oh my God, he went to 12 Christmas parties or something. You know what? That's sad, but not my problem, thank God.
Well, it's like, get out there, live your life, but don't go live your life.
Poor Boris wants to be the party guy and be a super spreader. Hey, that's fine. He didn't. It's doubt he didn't bring people to the party at gunpoint, especially since it's in Britain. They don't do that over there.
No, nobody's allowed to have guns.
So hey, and you can't say that people were unawares because that would be just foolish to think that they were being unaware, that they were unaware of the danger of what was happening or the risk, whether it be a great risk or a minor risk. They know. They're adults. They don't get over it, people. If you want to live in a wool-filled bubble the rest of your life, go ahead, enjoy. I'm done with it. that's
well, and and that's kind of what I've done. I mean, I've not been unsociable. I mean, there's been times that I've just said to hell with it, and I've just, especially after a family function, there's a spot in Bowling Green I like to stop at to grab a beer too. I'm sure there's several people out there that can relate to that. But it's, I don't sit beside somebody. I don't get up in their face or stuff like. I keep my distance.
Sure.
And then I'm not there for over an hour and a half, 2 hours. So
it's,
And I'm going to have to disappear on you again because my computer's fixing to die.
And that's fine. And I don't want to be guilty for that. I don't want to feel guilty about trying to enjoy life. That's the important thing. And I'm just not going to. I'm just glad to see that the Psycho made it. And everybody is, I'm just so glad. I'm so always constantly impressed that people bother to come in because I wish I did Oh, so you came right back in. You bounced right back in.
Well, my computer was fixing to die. I feel like Russ
Oh,
tonight.
you just
I
had to
can't
plug.
get
You just
I
had to
can't get my
plug it.
shit together.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't
See
get my
there?
headphones going. Couldn't get my microphone going, and I just feel like
But
I'm
your
in a
mic.
different show.
I'm so glad you got your mic working.
Yes, me
Or
too.
yes,
It's
you're
there.
tech. Your tech guy got your
My
mic
tech
working.
guy took care of that for me, thank God, because I was getting a little pissed.
Oh, and who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? You know, it, I manage usually to figure out stuff, kind of like, I keep pushing buttons until something happens. and yeah. Oh. Vivi.
Oh no, yes.
Turned off the
She
cam.
knows me so well.
Were you off? Were you off camera there? Okay.
When I turned my camera off and turned it back on.
I've seen that done. That's quick. That can be quick. That can be done quick.
Trust me, it don't take long at all.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, that's just gotta happen.
Embarrassed me. You're not going to be able to see my shirt.
Hey, you'll match.
I'll match. Yes. Oh, I wasn't blushing. That's just the lights reflecting off my shirt today.
Yeah, that's what it is. God, I love it when Venus shows up. But anyway.
Always.
But no, it got warm enough. My animal problem, I kind of oh yeah, Charles, here, ready? Take it off, Charles. It's your turn.
Okay. Justin?
Yeah, Justin's here.
Oh my goodness, that's great. I'm glad to see
everybody
him.
needs some entertainment.
Oh, we're doing the
Justin,
best
Marco, it's time for you all to take your bras off. Just saying. But no, what I was going to tell you about the weather's warm enough today. I opened up my storm door, so
I'm jealous. Absolutely
so they can
jealous.
just come in. Well, the rain's supposed to come in, and the last I've heard, we're not going to get snow. We're going to get freezing rain. So I am not a happy camper about this.
Yes.
But there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Nope.
Just hope I don't lose power.
Well, we're going to get slapped again pretty hard. And
yeah, but you're used to it.
Hey, if it rains, it'll melt some of the foot of snow off the ground.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true.
And then if there's ice on top, then it'll just be a little bit more variety in the layer cake. So,
this is true.
Yeah, we can handle it. We can handle that kind of thing here.
This is when isn't this how the scientists can figure out how bad the winters have been? Is they up there, whatever, they can cut through the snow, the layers and layers of snow, and tell you exactly what's happened.
Yes. Exactly. It's an idea. That's like those ice bores in Greenland that are 14,000, 10,000, 20,000 years old. That's amazing. That's amazing that they can go to do that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
And it has been very instructive. It has taught us a lot about weather that we didn't know before. So who would think that drilling a hole through 2.5 miles of ice would be so instructive?
Yeah, nobody really cares either.
Yes, but it's fun.
It's pretty fascinating, but nobody cares what the weather was like a million years ago. Nobody cares.
I'm trying to think. What's the oldest ice they've ever found? I don't think it goes back into the millions. And that's only because the ice moves. And as it moves off the continents, I was thinking of Antarctica. And as it slides from the pole into the sea, whichever direction it goes, that it would shear off, so that even if you found the center of the ice cap and drilled right there, the bottom wouldn't necessarily be the oldest, like millions of year old ice, because it would just slide. It would just eventually slide off.
Right.
I guess. I just didn't think that. Yeah. Interesting. It's terrible. It's. I guess the last time it was not icebound in Antarctica was millions of years ago. I was thinking like 10 million, at least 10, 12 million years ago, according to the geology or whatever that they figured out. I don't remember how they figured it out. That would be interesting too. All this stuff that we know, that we only know a little bit about, we don't know enough about to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. It's important to try to understand things, because we never know what it's going to tell us. If you can't read the tea leaves, you don't get to see. So it's worth the time to read the tea leaves. Whatever presents themselves to you, you don't know what the message could be. You can't make up your mind what it's going to be before you read the tea leaves.
Right. I'm not going to read any tea leaves. I put them in a bag and then I pitch them. Sorry. That's how I do it. But no, talking about the Canada thing, some of the news that comes out of there, it's different.
Yes.
What was it? It was one that they were protesting the road conditions because it's so bad. I've heard that story.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's one of those false stories that come out. It's supposedly that's what it is.
Yeah. The thing is, almost had a thought there. Okay.
But anyway,
if you take a map line, okay, and the map line that runs the main straight line northern border of the United States, okay, like across Montana and Idaho and Washington, okay, taking that parallel all the way across to the Atlantic Ocean, 50% of the people in Canada live south of that line. Okay, 90% of the people in Canada live within 50 miles of the United States border. So we think, and Canada is bigger than the United States.
Oh yes,
in its actual area. So that's just weird. See, but the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, Canada is not like a continent-sized country as far as the people are concerned, because 90% of the people are within shopping distance of the American border. So it's a strange country that way, really, when you think about it.
Well, it's like pushing all these mandates and things like that. And we were talking about this earlier too. We don't need mandates shoved down our throats. And you can call them a mandate. It's not law. So, and then that's where it gets a little funky. We don't need it. We just don't need it.
What? I'm a suggestion, and these are I don't know. Maybe we need to learn to be more polite, more considerate of each other.
Well, I mean,
This
that's
is
the
what,
thing.
this is suggestions, your minimum suggested daily allowance, one vitamin, you know, I just, you have to be, but no, I'm kind of a hard ass myself when my dogs aren't going crazy. Um,
Mine's
yeah,
barking now.
yeah. When I,
Oh, Lord.
yeah, dogs, love my dogs.
Well, it's
The
like, when you go into a store and there's a sign that
yes,
says, we suggest that you use a mask if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's great.
yes. Mm-hmm.
They're not going to mandate it. But and
They're
why
not
to
going to
mandate
refuse your service. I'm not going to refuse you
exactly if you don't
service
wear one?
because you didn't have a mask. Actually,
Well, so
I'm
that's
kind of
fine.
I've kind of been willing to go along with the mask thing, but there have been a couple of occasions when I've hopped out of the car and run into a little quick shop to grab something, pack of gum, uh, whatever. Okay, and I didn't have my mask with me. They didn't turn me around and make me go back and get one, But it wasn't like I was going to hang around. I got my thing and left quick. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ordinarily willing to, eager, in fact, I guess, to keep people as comfortable in their. See, I'm not at great risk if I stop into a convenience store. Okay, the people that
Right.
work there are at risk. Okay,
Right.
because it's not just me; it's me and 1,000 other people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if I guess if you could trust that 1,000 other people to say, well, I might have been exposed, and I'm going to limit my risk of transmitting this to another person. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm either going to stay home or I'm going to use the mask or whatever, to do that. But there's a certain amount of mistrust there. Like back during one of the lulls before Delta came in, the Walmarts and the big department stores said, okay, masks are optional. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk in and I'm saying, nobody's wearing a mask. Okay.
Right.
Or wait, masks are optional if you have, but it is suggested that if you have not been vaccinated, you should wear a mask. Okay. Whatever. But I walk in and I know that 6 out of 10 people in my general area are not vaccinated, or 6 out of 10 are vaccinated. 4 out of 10 are not. Nobody's wearing a mask. So damn well that if you're not, it's just, it erodes the trust. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It erodes the trust. That's all.
Yeah.
And
They got
we
rid of that
need
a
that.
long time
Our
ago.
societies need that. We need to trust the official narrative. Not saying the narrative is either good or bad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it is best for us all together if we have a narrative that we can trust. Okay?
Well, they screwed that up. Sorry.
Oh, they have
Hanging it back.
They have been burning that bridge for 20 years. Actually, probably more than that,
It's gone.
Because there used to, I think, look, I'm going back into my childhood, but it seems that there was a time when there was a bridge that was trustworthy, that the journalists actually had ethics.
Right.
That
went to hell in a handbasket.
If the weatherman told you it was raining, you could pretty much look outside and see the raindrops.
Right.
Now they tell you it's raining and you say, dude, not here.
That's just because they're pissing down your back.
Yeah. Yes. All too often. All too often. That is true.
But yeah, no, they totally completely lost that trust when it was this is what's happening. Don't get masks. Masks aren't going to help. And then it was like a week later, and they were like, "Oh my God, everybody needs to wear a mask. Oh my God, we got to shut everything down," and
Yeah,
all of this stuff. And if you get vaccinated, then you won't get the COVID ever. And then it's like, oops.
Well, except
you'll get it, but it won't be too bad.
You know, it's
just like.
And a lot of it, okay, I'm thinking a lot of it is just ordinary confusion. Okay. Yes. You know, when you're on the news, in the news business, okay, he who speaks first gets the better rating or whatever. Okay.
No, actually,
so they
Fauci,
speak without but they often speak without. Yes. Yes. Fauci
come out and said
Fauci's his own worst. Fauci's his own worst enemy.
Fauci is our damn enemy. But Fauci come out and said the reason he told everybody that masks wouldn't work is because he didn't want everybody to go out and buy them all up. Okay, why did you need to buy stock in the shit first, or what?
He might have actually said that for that reason.
He did.
I know. I mean, I'm not denying.
No, I'm just saying
but he may saying that may have been his honest reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the people who at that point early on that were at greatest risk were the people in hospitals that couldn't get fucking masks, that couldn't get PPE. Okay. And that was, it may have been a value judgment to where he was saying, you know, the people that need the mask are the people who are at greatest risk. Okay.
Right.
And I'm not going to fault, if that were his true intent, I'm not going to fault him for that. But but see, once it gets interpreted a couple of times, okay, and comes through, then he had a responsibility to come back and say, no, this is not what I meant by that. This is why I did that. And to make sure that it gets out. You know what I'm saying?
He did a year too late.
And try. Yes.
Yeah. And then it was like, and then this is behind.
You don't correct a year later. You correct it next week, you know?
Yeah. This is behind all of the other BS that they have fed.
There has been so much. It doesn't seem to matter which aspect of this thing we're talking about. Okay. Where did it come from? Who started it? Where did it
they're not telling you that either.
Please, you know,
because Fauci would be strung up somewhere.
Well, okay. Given worst case scenario there, he was the mastermind, and he sent millions of dollars to Wuhan, China, to create a secret lab to create a homicidal virus. Okay.
Those labs have been around for years.
Even if he did that, okay, with intent, it was still legal because the United States government paid for it in the pursuit of making us safer, like they have been making us safer for the last 1970 to 50 years, to make it safer from smallpox that's extinct in the wild, but it's still being, shuttled from lab to lab in the mail. That offends me greatly.
Well, I think Obama had defunded that.
Yes, he did. But damn it!
And then Fauci found a way to get it anyway.
I'm not going to give. He did defund it in 2014 or 2015, but the problem is they ever funded it at all. If you know what,
And they've been doing it forever.
You know what we need? We need a big.
We need to string them all up.
We need a big giant fucking space lab. If you want to work on this deadly fucking shit, take it upstairs. Okay.
Remember Skylab? That crashed to the ground. So that's exactly what's going to happen. If they took this into space,
they can fix that.
They would put it into orbit.
That's just ballistics and astrophysics. We can fix that. We can fix it so it won't come back down.
We just need to find somebody.
How many people have died of this already? Is it up to 5 million yet? 5 million, 10 million, 15? How many million lives? Okay, is this shit worth? You know?
They don't care.
Well, yeah, there's that.
They could care less.
No, wait. We're going to have to do a whole show on Agenda 21, right? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Depopulation, which is now Agenda 2030. Or maybe we should
bring up the Georgia Guidestones.
We could do that too.
You know, this stuff's been around. It's been around forever. It's been around for a long time. And the truth of it is, I'm not, as long as it's been around, I haven't been able to entirely quiet a part of my mind saying this just could be true. That could be they could be doing.
Man, I've been into that stuff for many, many years, and that was before it was popular.
You can't quiet it completely.
And I think Trump
really
screwed them up
because we've caught the bastards at it so many times.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
Trump kind of threw a monkey wrench in that too. He threw a monkey wrench on a lot of stuff.
I'm convinced that there was a bandwagon that that part of the parties, that part of the population, those oligarchs or whatever, whoever you want to call it, whoever those bad guys were, have been building that bandwagon for at least 50 years. You know, got to take control back. We can't have those hippies. Can't let those hippies run the world. They'll just turn us all into whatever. And
I've met a few hippies, and I kind of agree. Kind of glad they didn't take over the world, but anyway.
But I don't know. I just wish that. But I think you're absolutely right that they had this wonderful juggernaut bandwagon all built up. You know, they had all these people riled up to the point that they killed. You know, they beat the unions down, and they sent all the fucking jobs over, all the good jobs overseas, and this and this and this and the prices and the gas and everything, and then in walked Trump.
Yep.
And hopped into that little giant fucking Abrams tank jalopy that they had built and drove away, you know, to do his own thing. So
he did.
Maybe 50 years from now, 100 years from now, they'll say, gee, they're really lucky that Trump did that. But right now, I don't feel lucky.
Nobody does. And I tell you, I mean, in a prime example of everything, look at what the press did to him, to a sitting president.
Oh,
the disrespect. And it was not just the press, it was freaking everybody. It was just unbelievable, and it was allowed to happen. They were never called out on it. If they would have treated, now there's some jerks, I get that. But if they'd have treated Obama that way, they'd have been hung. I mean, and it's
Oh, please, now let's not talk about Jimmy Carter.
oh my God, Lord, we may not need to talk about him.
Speaking, I'm speaking as someone who was really unfairly pilloried in the press.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the Mr. Blowjob Bill Clinton.
Oh my God, please let's
and
do
how fairly the press treated him.
But they made a joke out of that. They made a joke out of it. But I mean, that was just incidents that happened. Of course, now Jimmy Carter was totally different. I get that.
Well, shall we talk about Gerald Ford and his clumsiness?
Oh my God.
Or
that's hilarious.
Who else was that? I'm trying to think. Nixon was his own worst enemy.
Nixon was his own joke. That's just how that was.
Let's see. I'm going back.
No, but what I'm getting at,
George H.W.
You know what
Bush
I'm talking about.
And his
you know exactly what I'm
speech
talking
patterns. About. Sure.
Before Trump was ever president.
I'm still saying the disrespect for the office has been, yes, of course, it's always going to escalate to the next level, until it reaches a point where it's ridiculous.
Right. And they just kept doing it. And it was like, and then when Hillary didn't win, and they kept saying, "Oh, Hillary's winning, Hillary's winning."
Shall we?
And
yes,
it was like, let's just keep saying it, and maybe it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody lost it. Everybody lost their minds. Mm-hmm. And then the disrespect was just constant. I mean, and it was just, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I couldn't get over it. I know the press would go after Obama on some things, but I have never in my life seen that.
It doesn't matter really which side you're on. Were they disrespected for the real reasons, or was that just the whole thing to bring the whole damn thing down? You know what I'm saying?
That was to bring it all down.
The general disrespect. You can't trust your congressman. You can't trust your police officers. You can't trust your mailman. You can't trust the president. You can't trust your senators. You can't trust your doctors. Right. You can't trust scientists. You can't trust your teachers. Mm-hmm. Who the hell's left at some point? Right.
But I mean, that's
the point is that an agenda? I think there's great deal of evidence that it is, to just defame everybody, just bring it all down. And don't worry, we're sitting out in the back here. We're ready to take over. And when the bricks stop falling, then we'll come in and create the new world order.
Well, that's what the UN's there for, and they've got their
and another greatly defamed institution that had a reasonably good intent, at least, I think, before it was taken.
But then everybody has seen exactly what they stand for, so it doesn't work out real well, as far as I'm concerned with them. We don't need them. We don't freaking need them. Why do we need them?
Well, they've been particularly unsuccessful in those things that they did try to do, I think.
Right. We don't need them. They're just paid officials nobody cares about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, and that's and then people got mad because Trump took money away from them. I was tickled to death. We don't need.
From whom?
With the UN, whenever he didn't fund all this stuff that he wanted them to fund.
Did he take any money from the United States? The United States has underfunded and unfunded the United Nations from day one.
Okay. So guess who got all the shit piled on top of him, and they kept saying how horrible he was. Well, how could he do this? Why would he do this? Oh my God,
Mhm.
he's the
Oh, yeah.
devil. But that's what I'm getting at. It nothing when a president is not doing what the press or what the agenda is that they want them to do, they crucify them.
Mhm.
So I mean, and that's
See,
just normal.
Yep. It's
And that's
tough.
just
It's tough when you're in the
mhm.
in the front. When you're in the front of the parade, you're the first one that's going to get the accolades, and you're also the first one that's going to get the craps thrown at you.
Yeah. Well, and I can remember years ago, Bush was president, the second one, and they
Mission accomplished, Bush.
Yeah, him.
Okay. Anyway, yes.
They were talking about how he had cut funding to school lunches, school program lunches, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they were crucifying him over it.
Mhm.
They had a budget surplus of I don't know how many millions of dollars.
Mhm.
And had for a couple of years. So he cut it. They weren't using it. I mean, and that's just business.
Yep.
But they were crucifying him over it. So, Ron, no, he's not.
So, gosh. Let's see. What else? I don't know that. As I said, I just want to try to set as many things aside as possible. And remember, and work more with the things that matter in my life, that are, because 90% of I think it's higher than that, but 90% of everything is bullshit. I'm just cutting back on that, wasting my energy on the bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm going to, hopefully spring will come, and I'll get to go outside and enjoy the plants and smell the flowers and just be with people again. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it.
I am now. They can all kiss my ass.
There you go. Nah. See, it's just, I'd like to forgive and forget, or at least forgive. Okay. Because I've been less than perfectly charitable with other people's opinions on stuff. To say, I said, how I thought I knew that person. How could they see that? How could they think that? And I've been wrong. And sometimes I've said things and I've been wrong. So I guess I'm giving up one of the things that I'm giving up on is the expectation that me or anybody else is going to be perfect.
What? You're not perfect? What the hell? Charles, I'm shocked.
I try. I do try. I try so hard sometimes that I am particularly adamant in my mistakes. And that's the biggest mistake. The biggest mistake I've ever made was trying to be perfect. Yes. or trying to convince people that I was perfect.
Yeah. I'd have believed it until you told me not, that you weren't. So
Oh my! The only perfect one at this station is Ron.
okay. Next.
The rest of us are amateurs, and we just fumble through. We do the best we can.
That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But I'll kind of throw this out there real quick because I know we're fixing to
Sure.
end the program.
Okay.
I was tested for COVID this morning and tested positive, which surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like you. I just had the sinus, this mess. The only reason I went to the doctor is because the sinus pressure was so bad here. And if I would have just sucked it up and not gone to the doctor and just used neti pot or whatever, I'd been fine. We wear masks at work, but we're also pretty much isolated from everybody until they decide to pile everybody up into a meeting room, and we have 2-hour meetings at a time. So anyway.
Yep.
Marco, honey, let's see. Where's that?
Coffee, tea, ice cream soda.
This is a big old cup of water.
Oh, bourbon. Oh. Oh, one of these days.
Well, see, and the best part about that, you put the bourbon in here, and to keep it cold, you just stick it in the freezer, and it turns into like a little slushy delight.
Oh my, yes, a slushy. Love that.
So it's a whole lot easier.
I used to like to do that with vodka.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like vodka that's so cold that when you pour it in the shot glass, it frosts the shot glass.
Yes,
and then
it's perfect.
Toss that down. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can. Yeah, you
like frost,
like take a big watermelon.
My tonsils.
Okay, Eufy. Here, Eufy shows up. Advertising the shows should also include the links to YouTube as well as Earth Radio, especially since the radio is dead. Oops. Not my job.
My apologies. It says it's working.
Yeah, it says it's working.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All I can say. Anyway.
But anyways, I'm home for the next 5 days.
You just figured out a way to get 5 days of working at home. You don't have to put up with everybody. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my positive test here somewhere, I think.
You gonna reuse it all the time? They kept mine, damn it.
Hell yes. Whatever excuse I need, whatever I need an excuse for. Oh, look, oh my God, it's
Yeah, I need 5 more days off.
I should have ordered in like a dozen test strips when they were where they were free there, and so I can keep testing myself, and I don't know, I'll find something that gives a positive results. I'll wipe it on the dogs or whatever.
So now
I'll do whatever's necessary to get a positive result.
But the bad part is I can't work from home. They won't let me work from home because we have a department where I work that if they were to get it and had to be sent home, they can't work from home. So, and I was like, well, okay, it's going to be bad when I get back. I'll have to go into my office and shut the door.
So you're theoretically capable of working online, but they're not allowed to be working online because
they're not going to let me work online.
Because that's not fair. Because that's not fair that you should. Okay.
I know how to solve that.
What? That's
Don't
yes,
take away
please.
their PTO time. Just freaking pay them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but anyway, but that's okay. Today it was 65 degrees outside.
Oh,
I still
nice.
got my door propped open. I had my heat turned off. It's supposed to start raining tonight, and then it's either we're either
Oh.
going to have freezing rain or we're going to have nothing.
Well,
I'm just right there on
that
the end.
reminds me that I got a notice that I've got to make sure that we're having a snow ban, snow parking ban. So I'll have to make sure before I go to bed tonight to
Yeah.
get that car off the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
so it could.
I'm sitting there.
If I'm to take the word of the trusted weathermen, here, it's going to be like snowpox, snow, ice, sleet,
It's gonna be
rain.
ugly.
Yeah,
it's going to be
fire,
ugly.
things falling out of the sky. But then for the next 3 days here. So.
Yeah. Well, I was just sitting here reading Venus's comment about that she didn't think that I have the COVID. I don't, and see that's something else too.
All we can do is go with the test.
That's right.
But
it's like my
test,
son
could be a test for anything, right?
My son made the comment that, and he's in the medical part of this stuff, and he said these tests pick up anything viral. Doesn't matter what it is, it's going to pick up anything that's viral. So you may have, and that may be the reason why some of these tests that come back positive and some of the people don't have much symptoms, if any, that it's picking up something else. I don't know.
Well,
ooh, I just made Charles think. Oh my God.
It's one of those cases where I know just enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically what they're testing for. Okay. We've all seen the pictures of the COV virus. Okay. Looks like a little soccer ball with spikes all over it. Okay.
Right.
On each of those little spikes, there's a little shoe, like a shoe at the end of the spike. Okay. So, I mean, some of them have high heels, some of them have sneakers, some of them have combat boots, some of them have hobnail boots. They're all these different stilettos. Okay. I mean, they're all wearing each variant is wearing different shoes. Okay. That's what makes it a variant. Okay. And so the thing is, when you're testing for it, you're going through the atmosphere or a place or wherever, and you're looking, and that little test kit picks up shoes. It doesn't say those, and that's what it picks up. It picks up whether it's found shoes or not. It doesn't tell you what kind of shoes. It doesn't tell you whether they were actually on the COV2 feet. It just says, I found some shoes.
Right.
I thought that was a kind of a cute little way of looking at it.
That's the thing. So,
especially with the stilettos. Yeah. Okay.
I tried to answer John in chat, but it didn't work.
Uh-oh.
It says I'm having connection issues. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just, I just kind of wonder if that's the reason why some of the tests, they didn't really have COVID, but it was picking up a cold.
Well, the one of the problems with the test, especially in the early times before they had set up the complete protocol for it, was each time you run a test. Now this is pre-swab tests. Okay, you had they ran it through a certain time function as to how many doublings, okay, of this solution, how many doublings it takes before it gets a reaction. Okay, that's where they say you're positive or not or negative. Okay, there's a significant big difference whether you have just enough to not test or enough to test. Okay, if you ran it 5 times, you get nobody would get anything. If you ran it 10 times, half the people would get it, half the people wouldn't. If you ran it 15 times, everything's going to be positive. Okay,
All right.
and that's basically the way it was. I'm thinking just like so many of these things, at the time it was better than nothing. Okay.
Right.
And now they've got it pretty well dialed in. So,
Here you go. This is makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
you got.
I always look puffy. I'm full of bourbon.
Puffy sun. I need some of that. I need some of that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and my sinuses. I mean, that's just I had a sinus infection.
Yep.
So, but anyway, well, we've talked about nonsense for almost an hour and a half now. So
I think we've bored people enough.
Oh yeah.
I am going to try to have a better show next week. I always try to have a better show, but it's
always a bitch fest.
I get to come in and have fun, laugh, and enjoy
Triggered.
myself. So
Venus triggered John all through the show and chat. It was pretty humorous. I was kind of reading that.
So as long as we're all having fun, what more could you ask for?
I should have been just popping those comments up there while you were talking. It was pretty good, actually.
I can see them all there.
Yeah. But popping them in there while you're talking about something completely different would have been great.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I should have.
Good point. I try not to allow myself to be too terribly distracted by the comments, although I enjoy them immensely.
We'll fix that next time, Oofy. Promise.
Okay. And everybody, hope you all have a great night. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great weekend. And we will be back next week. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. And good night.